You ever get that feeling when you splurge on a cheap storage drawer for your backyard grill, only to discover it bends after a few weeks or the latch falls off the first time you try to pull it out? I've seen more than a few friends ruin a whole outdoor kitchen project because they tried to cut corners on the hidden pieces: the drawers, the doors, the little things that you don't see until you actually need to grab a propane tank or throw away charcoal ash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. That hesitation is real, and it's exactly why I'm taking a close look at the Bull Outdoor Products premium components set for a barbecue island. Is this the smarter buy that actually solves those everyday frustrations, or is it just another glossy promise? First off, let's talk about the context in which this piece lives. An outdoor kitchen island isn't just a slab of metal and a grill, it's a functional hub where you're storing propane, stashing utensils, and sometimes even keeping a quick snack on hand. The drawer and door combo from Bull is marketed as a premium solution, meaning it should blend seamlessly with the rest of a stainless steel or stone island while offering rugged durability. The biggest question is whether that premium label translates into real benefits when you're actually cooking a weekend feast. Who should consider this component? If you've already committed to a full-size island, think granite countertops, a built-in grill, maybe even a sink, and you need a dedicated space for your propane tank that doesn't scream temporary, the Bull combo makes sense. Homeowners who entertain frequently, people who keep a separate propane tank on the island instead of a garage, and anyone who wants the look of a professional outdoor kitchen rather than a hodgepodge of metal boxes will find value here. On the flip side, if your setup is a simple portable grill with a small metal cart, or you're looking for a budget-friendly add-on, you'll probably be paying for features you'll never use. The extra stainless steel body and the reveal door style add cost that's hard to justify for a minimalistic setup. Now, let's break down the practical strengths. The first thing that jumps out is the material. Bull claims the components are meticulously crafted from high-quality stainless steel, and that isn't just marketing fluff. In my hands, the metal feels heavier than the cheap aluminum or thin-gauge steel you often see on budget kits, which means the drawer won't sag under the weight of a full propane tank or a pile of grilling tools. The surface finish is also brushed, so it resists fingerprints and the occasional splash of grease better than a glossy finish that would show every smudge. This is a subtle but noticeable perk when you're pulling the drawer out after a rain-soaked cookout. Next, the design of the reveal door is worth mentioning. Unlike a traditional hinged door that sits flush, the reveal style steps back slightly when opened, giving you a clear line of sight to the contents without having to fully swing the door open. In practice, that means you can glance at the propane gauge or the trash bin without exposing the entire island to the elements. For a backyard that sees wind, rain, and occasional critters, this small detail can keep the interior of your island drier and cleaner, which in turn reduces the need for extra sealing or weatherproofing. Installation is another area where Bull tries to differentiate itself. The package includes mounting hardware and a step-by-step instruction sheet that's actually readable, no tiny font or cryptic symbols. I was able to bolt the drawer into a pre-drilled space on a stone countertop in about 30 minutes with just a drill and a screwdriver. The only hiccup was that the instructions assume you have a perfectly square opening. If your island cavity is offcut or has an irregular shape, you'll need to make a few adjustments. That's not a deal breaker, but it does mean the product works best on a cleanly fabricated island rather than a DIY patchwork. Let's talk about the real-world use case, storing a 20-pound propane tank. When you slide the drawer out, the interior offers surprisingly generous space, enough for the tank, a few hoses, and even a small fire extinguisher. The drawer glides smoothly thanks to a concealed ball bearing system, which feels more like a kitchen cabinet than a heavy-duty metal box. I tested it by loading the drawer with both a full propane tank and a set of grilling tools. The drawer held firm, and the handle never felt loose, even after opening and closing it 10 times in quick succession. For anyone who frequently swaps tanks or keeps a spare on hand, that reliability is a big win. However, there are a few practical weaknesses you need to weigh. Because the construction is stainless steel, the unit is heavy, around 45 pounds on its own. If you ever need to relocate the island or replace the drawer, you'll need at least 2 people to lift it safely. That isn't unusual for a premium.